Hello everyone and welcome to another video in my channel. So in today's video I'll be showing you how you can create this, which is a responsive login and sign in form. And in what this form does, it signs you in using Facebook, Google, and also email address. We have this sign in page and we also have this sign up page, which allows you to create a new account if you don't have one. And to do all this signing in and also signing up, we are going to be using Clerk. And I'll just Google for you what Clerk does for a moment. Clerk is the easiest way to add authentication and user management to your application. So I found out this is a helpful way to create sign up forms and sign in forms and also database management in minutes, because I think many of you struggle to do that. So I'll be showing you what this does. So I'm going to sign in first because I already have one signed in account in my database. So I'm going to sign in. So I'm going to use continue with Google and then select the email. And then as you can see, now we have this page. I created this page which shows this text of the logo of the company, and also I have this profile here. If I click on the profile, you can see we have the name in my email, and also we have the username. And also if I click manage account, you can see here we can change the profile picture, that is. And then let me see, we can change the username, and also we can change the email. We can add an email address to our existing email, and then we can connect other accounts. And then if I click delete account, it will permanently remove the account from the database. So I'm not going to do that. And then we have the security, where we are going to set a password if you don't have a password. And since we use Google to sign in, we can create another password. So you can see that the sign in works. So I'm going to sign out and then create another account. So I'm going to do that. So I've signed out, so I'm going to hit sign up. Here I'm not going to use continue with Google or continue with Facebook. I'm going to use these three here. So I'm going to give a username. And then an email address, and then a random password. And then I'm going to hit continue. And it's saying that I'm supposed to verify my email. So what I'm going to do is to come to my Gmail, and then I'm going to come and see if I have that. And here we have the verification code, and if you can notice, we have the logo of the company, and also we have the name of the company in this email. So I'm going to copy paste this verification code, and then I'm going to paste it there, and it's supposed to create another account for me. And as you can see, we have another account here. We have this. So I'm going to manage the account. We have a username already. So what we don't have is the profile picture. So we can upload an image directly. So we're going to select a file, and then I can use this logo, and then I'm going to hit continue, then finish. And then as you can see, we have an image on our profile picture, and then we have all this. So I'm going to show you how to do that in a moment. We are going to use Next.js to do this. And before we start writing the code, please, if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Last week we hit 200 subscribers. Make sure you leave a like and then leave a comment on which project I'm supposed to do next, and also share the video. So let's start coding. So I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to close my VS Code, and then I'm going to come to my desktop, and then I'm going to open it in the terminal, and then I'm going to come back to my browser. For those who have been asking which browser I use Brave browser. So I'm going to search for Next.js, and then make sure you follow every step so that you can achieve that. Let me copy this so that I can create that app, and then I'm going to paste it here. Hit enter. You're going to wait. What is your project name? I'm going to name it sign up, and we're going to use Clerk. Hit enter. I'm going to use TypeScript. ESLint, yes. Tailwind, yes. And then no source directory, we're going to use the app directory. Yes. And then import alias, no. And then we are going to wait for them to finish installing the packages. So everything has finished installing. So what I'll do next, I'm going to cd, and then my app was, I've named it, let me see, I've named it sign up Clerk, and then I'm going to type code dot, which is supposed to open VS Code, open the folder directly in VS Code. Yeah, so I'm going to close the terminal because I'm done with it. And then as you can see here, we have our project running. We have the app which has the global CSS, the layout, and all that. And then we have all this. So the next thing here we are going to do is to open the terminal, and then new terminal. I want us to see this project. So I'm going to type npm run dev, and it's going to start my project. Control and then click. I'm going to wait for it to open my project, and before it does that, I'm going to open Clerk. I have it here. What I'm going to do here, so if you don't have an account, you're going to sign up here, and if you have an account, so for me, I have an account, so let's first sign out, and then let's sign in. So I'm going to continue with Google. If you don't have an account, you create an account. For me, I have one, so I'm going to sign in. And immediately after signing in or creating an account, you have this, you'll see this section, but it won't have these two because these are my projects. You're going to add an application, so I'm going to hit that, and then here you can see they have let's build your sign in. How will your user sign in? They have all of these. You can use email address, phone number, you can use Google, Facebook, GitHub, all of this. So in our project, we are going to use the email, and we are also going to use this username, and then we are going to use, we can add Facebook, but we won't be using it. And then if you add another one, it's going to appear like this, so we are not going to use that. We are going to use only those three, and we are going to name it. We are going to name it sign in with, and then our project name, that is, and then we are going to hit create application, and now we have our application created. Here we have quick starts. We are using Next.js, we're not using React, so it's already selected by default. So first you can see our app is running here, so I'm going to come back in my VS Code, minimize that, and then I'm going to first collapse this. And then if you have watched my last videos, you have seen that I normally remove this and I put this. So here I'm going to say h1, and then it's going to be sign in, and then we're going to say Clerk. Then let's see we have that there, and then we are going to keep the styling in here, and then let's see, let me remove the body so that it removes the black color. That's better. And then I'm going to put this, I'm going to create a folder here. So I'm going to create a folder inside here, and in this folder I'm going to create root. And what this root is going to do, we are going to put our page.tsx inside here. So we're going to move it. It won't change anything, it's just that. So we have this sign in Clerk, and what we're going to do here, we're going to come back to our dashboard where we created our sign in Clerk project. So here you can see they are saying, sorry, API keys, paste the keys in the code snippets into your environment local file. So I'm going to copy this, and then I'm going to come back to my project, and in the root of the folder I'm going to create a new file, and this file I'm going to name it env, think it's .env, yeah, and then I'm going to paste those two there. And then since I'm pushing this to GitHub, I don't want the environment variables to be pushed to GitHub, so I'm going to come to the git ignore, and then I'm going to git invoke my environment variables like that. And then let me close this, come back to my browser, and our first task is done. We have pasted the keys in our environment variable, in our environment file, sorry. So the next thing is we are going to do is to click continue in docs, and here you can read this to be able to understand what this does. You can see learn how to use Clerk to quickly and easily secure authentication and user management to your Next.js application. So in this video I'm using Next.js. I've not tried React and the rest. So we are going to do this first. We are going to npm install Clerk.js. So I'm going to copy this, come back, and then I'm going to open my terminal. And then I'm going to open another terminal instead of ending my application. So I'm going to paste it there. Then I'm going to wait for it to install. After installing that Clerk in our project, we are going to go to the next step. So our first two steps are done, copying the environment and also installing Clerk in our project. So what we are going to do here next is to scroll down, and then you can see set environment keys. We have already copied them, so we are going to skip that. And then we're saying mount Clerk provider, update your root layout to include the Clerk provider wrapper. The Clerk component wraps your Next.js application to provide active sessions. So since we have not changed anything in our in our layouts.tsx, we haven't changed anything here. So what we are going to do, we are just going to copy this and then paste it directly here, because we haven't changed anything, and then we have it there. So our next step is done, and then you're going to come to the next step, protect your application. Now that Clerk is installed, it's time to decide which pages are public and which needs to hide behind authentication. So here we are going to create this middleware.typescript in our project. So you're also going to come to the root of your folder, and then you're going to create another file which is middleware.ts, and then we're going to copy it. So what this does is, you notice when I was signing in and signing out, when I was signing out, it didn't like redirect me to the Clerk's page, Clerk's dashboard or homepage. It took me back to my sign in. So what this middleware does, it prevents that when a user signs out, it takes them back to the sign in page instead of redirecting them to the Clerk's homepage. See, with this, your entire application is protected. If you try to access it, it will redirect you to your sign up page. If you want to make other routes public, you can read that. So let's copy this. That's what I understood it does. That's what to me middleware does, because I've tried without it, and with it redirects me to the Clerk's homepage. So the next step, our first 3 steps are done. Then we are on our 5th step, which is build your own sign in and sign up pages. So here we are told we are going to create 2, sign in and sign up. So I'm going to come back to my app, and then I'm going to close this, and inside my app I'm going to add another, let me close all that. I'm going to add another folder, which is Auth, for the authentication, and then in this Auth I'm going to add another folder, which is routes, and then inside these routes I'm going to have 2 folders. In the first folder, let me put them side to side so that you can see. So we are told to create this inside our app, which is our authentication and route. We are going to add a folder which is sign up. So I'm going to click on the routes, and then I'm going to add another folder which is sign up, and then inside this folder you can see we have this folder. We are going to create this. So inside the sign up, we're going to add another folder which is going to start with this, and then exactly how it is in the documentation, sign up, and then close that, enter, and then inside that sign up we are going to create now this page.tsx. So inside here I'm going to create a file which is page.tsx, and inside this page I'm going to copy this and paste it here. And as you can see, now we have the sign in page in our project. We have the sign in, and then what we're going to do here is to come back, and then we're going to do same for this sign. This was sign up. Let me see. We're going to do the same thing for the sign in. So I'm going to come inside the Auth. I'm going to add another folder. No, not inside the Auth, sorry. Inside the routes I'm going to add another folder which is sign in, and then inside that sign in I'm going to add another folder which is sign in, and then inside that sign in I'm going to add a page.typescript tsx, and then I'm going to copy this and paste it here like that. So that step is done. So the next thing, let me close those ones. We have, make sure you create this. It's not a must you create all these folders, but make sure you add an Auth folder to put this sign up. So I'm going to come to the next step, update your environment variables. Next, add environment variables for the sign in. So we are going to copy this, and then we're going to come to our environment which we created, and then we are going to paste them here like that, and then we have finally done that. So we can come back here, and then if I switch from sign up to sign in to sign up, you can see we have that there, and we are going to try and see if we can create an account. So let's sign up and then continue with Google. and then let me use this, and then it's going to ask us to put a username. You remember we added a username, when we were creating this project, we added a username. So let's add a username. I'm going to use that and then continue. Then it's supposed to redirect me to my home page, which is sign in Clerk. Now we have that, and let me see. If you want your emails to look like this, you're going to come to the dashboard, and then you're going to wait, I'm going fast. We have created an account, and as you can see, we have congratulations, your application now has users. So we have our total users, which is this one, which have already signed in. So we can you can go through all this and understand them. So if I come to link settings, not settings but customization, and then branding, you can come here and you can change the name, and you can upload your logo and also the icon for the logo. So for me, I put my logo there for my project. So I think with that we are done with all that. You can go through all this, how you can add new users, how you can see we have this user. If I click on them, you can see the user's details. You have the user UID, you have the photo, we have all the details we need for that user. So as an admin, you can come and change them here. For that user, you can delete the user, you can ban the user, simple as that. But what I realized is it has premium features, but for development you can unlock those features just for development, not for production. So let me come back and do some styling here. So let me do this. I want to come back to my I think it's layouts, yeah, not layouts but our home page, this one. So what I'm going to do here is, let me remove this because I don't need it, and then what I'm going to do here is to remove this, and then I'm going to create a div, and in this div we want to have the items in this div to be displayed flex, and then items to be center, and then we want them to have space around them, so that, let's see, we're going to do justify around, and then we're going to give them a padding of 5. And then inside this div, I'm going to add 2 divs. The first div is going to have the h1, which is sign in Clerk, and then the next div we are going to have here is the one with the profile for the user. So if I come back here in our steps which we were doing, you can see here we have embed the user button. This user button allows you to manage your account information. So I'm going to come and copy this first, and then after copying, I'm going to paste it here, and then I'm going to copy this user button, and then I'm going to come and paste it here. So Shift Alt F to format that. If I come back to my app, you can see that we have this sign in Clerk, and then we have our account here. So I can sign out. Let's see, and we have this one is coming to the right, so we can change that by coming back to our VS Code, and then we are going to come to this Auth. I think it's the route. Yeah, in this route we are going to add a layout, its own layout .tsx. And before we add anything in our layout, the reason I created these folders, it's because after doing that you can be able to add layout for each folder. So here in my Auth, I can create my layout for it, and in my page I can also create a layout for it, sorry. So I'm going to come to our CSS, and here what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this in our HTML and also our body, and anything in there I'm going to add the routes that is. I want them to have a height of 100%. So let me come back to my project. Let me see, we have an error. Not actually inspect, but come to the terminal. This one saying that the default export is not a React component in page undefined. Let me see, in page import user is not a React component. Let's kill the terminal, and then we can run the app again. npm run dev. We are getting the error because we have not exported this. So we are going to export default function, and then we are going to call this, let's say Auth, and then layout, then like that. Export default function default. Yeah, like that. Let's see if we still have the error. So what you are going to do here is, remember, we want to align our cards in the middle of the screen. So inside here we are going to do this. We are going to add this, and then we want to import our children, which is these pages. So let me see, children, and then I want to import these children. So let me see, import children from React. Then let's see, going to add this, and then the children are going to come from React with React node, like that. And then we are going to return something inside here. So we're going to return a div, and in this div we want the cards to be in flex, and then we want them to be centered, items to be centered, and then we also want to justify the items to center, and then you want them to take a height of full. And then inside here I'm going to call the children. Yeah, like that. Let's come back. I'm saying we have don't think so. Now we have that at the middle of the page. So let's continue with Google, and then add another account. Going to ask us to put a username, so I'm going to use this. Continue. And now, as you can see, we now have a fully functional sign up method, and also we have the users in our database. So by doing that, I don't think there's anything else to this project, but I can check. So let me summarize this. So we started by creating a Next.js project, and then the next thing we did, we signed up to Clerk, and then we are given some environment variables, and here they are: the next public Clerk publishable key, and then we have the secret key. And also we created a root, which we moved our page.tsx to the root, and then we created an authentication folder, and inside the auth we created routes, which would handle the sign in and the sign up. Inside the sign in we created this folder here, and then we created also the page.tsx, and now we have our sign up page. So you can go ahead and try using Facebook, all of that, for number, everything. I noticed that it's working. It even sends you a verification code to your phone number. So I'll be putting this code in my GitHub, and then I'll put the link in the description. So if you have watched this far, thank you for staying with me. Let's meet in the next video. I'll be creating a video on how you can also do this, but use the MongoDB, how you can sign in users using Google using MongoDB. And stay tuned, and also subscribe and leave a like. Thanks for watching.